These are the voyages of SV Prism. The crew on board are searching for exotic landscapes and foreign cultures as they sail their 33-foot sailboat beyond horizons.
After 2 weeks on the hard, the work seemed to be never-ending. But with the chain plates machined and ready to install, we rallied to get back into the water before Christmas.
Alright, one of my favorite parts of painting the bottom is pulling the tape at the very end because it reveals the nice clean, pretty edge that you otherwise can't see. So here we go. So far, so good. Oh, it's just barely going too. Nice and still, we don't want it to rip. Oh yeah, it's pretty though. Look at that nice clean line. Oh no, there's a rip, there's a rip, there's a rip. Alright, I need to put down the camera to do this properly, but anyways, it's one of my favorite parts.
Okay, so we are back at Prism, and John is going to install the chain plates today. And my job is to get our living space back looking like a living space. Because right now, it is absolutely filthy. Isn't that true, John?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Before we could install the new chain plates, we had to drill 24 holes through the thick 1.25 inch fiberglass and the stainless steel original chain plates embedded in the hole. Chain plates are the pieces of metal the rigging connects to keep the mast up. They are one of the most important pieces of metal on a boat, and because Prism's original chain plates are non-serviceable, we decided to through-bolt our new chain plates onto the old ones.
Scheiße.
Rust?
Yeah, like the indentions out we saw on the side of our hole. I don't know if you can see that, but it's all brown flakes coming out right now. It's all rust. Is from the bend, I put the first hole 4 inches down from it. So, and on our boat, that is basically landing the first hole in this groove on the bulwark. So that's where I'm going to be aiming to make this thing similar to the other one.
Starting with the first hole, John slowly cut his way in with the die grinder, then proceeded to cut in with a smaller drill bit as a pilot hole, then graduated to the large 1/2 inch drill bit. The precision of the placement for this first hole is crucial, because all of the other holes are based off of it.
Yeah, I'm not even feeling any bite in this anymore. That tells you how crappy these $40 ones are. Cobalt, not all that it's cracked up to be in my experience. So I'll go with the next crappy one. Not crappy, by the way. $40 freaking a piece. Shouldn't be crappy.
Using the chain plate as a jig, John systematically finished drilling each hole. Next, he had to build custom spacer plates out of wood to fill in the gap between the chain plate and the bulwarks. I am in the head and I am re-greasing all our seacocks. I just did the one underneath the toilet and I'm using Spartan seacock grease. We have tapered seacocks, so we just have to service them when they get a little stiff. After 6 months of non-use and out of the water, they're stiff. The noise behind me is John. He is drilling the holes for our chain plates. And I'm trying to keep busy as he's drilling holes into our beautiful boat. Okay, so now that I've got it out, and I give it a good wipe, and re-grease them after I clean them off, and get them back in there, we'll have very nicely greased seacocks. Nobody likes a jammed cock.
As you can see, I'm in a sweater. Just as my friends on Game of Thrones have been warning me for a couple seasons. Winter is coming, Jon Snow. Winter is here. It's not coming anymore. It's cold.
We are finishing installing the chain plates. John is actually doing most of the work. I am just helping hand tools and unbolt nuts and stuff. So, but we're really happy with how they look. They go with the boat, so it's a relief. But this was definitely a project, and it'll be interesting to see how the inside fares as well.
Sexy spacer plates. I think I can finish them.
Working slowly, John cut from the inside with a hole cutter, cut in the exact size needed for the washer to fit on the bolt. He replaced the hole cutter's normal 1/4 inch pilot bit with a 1/2 inch, so he could use the holes he drilled from the outside to make the perfect cut inside. Once John felt the cutter push through the wood and hit fiberglass, he would stop and then pop out the unwanted wood. Boat yard life is hard. We drilled 24 holes into the side of our boat yesterday and today. Kind of hurts, but doesn't look bad. Right? Wow. So we are gonna hop in the car with our friends and go to Walmart and get some provisioning stuff since Sean is not here anymore and we don't have a car to just roam around and do whatever we want. In Guaymas, you have a large assortment of places to shop. Walmart is one of the cheapest and has a lot of brands you can't find anywhere else in Mexico. They also carry most of the fresh Mexican produce, so you really can't go wrong. With our boat provisioned, we were ready to get back in the water. So far, the projects had been going smooth, and we only had a few more to finish before we could splash.
Last night, Shannon and I dismantled the bowsprit. We no longer have a nose in our boat, and using the halyards and some brute strength, we slid them both out and put them down here. Yeah, didn't really think that we were gonna have another issue with it because we thought we took all the precautions necessary to keep that thing together. So the issue is the bowsprit was not covered this summer. It was out in front of the cover. Something that not everyone knows, when you use epoxy on anything, whatever temperature the epoxy cures at, it holds on to that memory, believe it or not. And if the temperature ever rises above that, the epoxy does what's called liquefaction, where it actually gets soft again, and in extreme cases can even turn back to liquid. So I'm guessing it liquefied, and when it liquefied, it let moisture into it, and because the scarf material is a lot less dense than the apatong material, which is the rest of the bowsprit, and I think that made the top piece expand. But anyways, we are gonna fix it, make it flat again, seal it, epoxy it all up, and repaint it. And then I'm not only gonna just do that, I'm also gonna throw 2 large 1/2 inch fasteners vertically through it. So anyways, I'm gonna really beef this thing up even more than it already is.
Using Smith's penetrating epoxy, John recoated the wood that had been sanded down to give it a proper seal. Then, using Smith's hardwood glue, which is designed to be used for oily woods, he poured in a semi-thickened concoction into the void. Using a heat gun, he heated the surface of the curing epoxy to well over 100 degrees, to hopefully ensure the epoxy would stay hard despite the temperature changes Prism will encounter. A fellow boater has invited us to come join him. He's been working on this wood boat that's from, I think, 1902. So he invited us over for some beers and the best shrimp egg rolls we've ever had in our lives, apparently. So how can we turn down beer and shrimp egg rolls? Guaymas Marina Boatyard is full of hard-working and experienced sailors from all walks of life. Going to these gatherings is a lot of fun, and it's great to be part of such a tight-knit community. I am so full.
How are those crab, shrimp, egg roll things?
The shrimp egg rolls, they were amazing. With unlimited fresh water, I decided it would be a good idea to get our laundry done before we went back out on the hook. Despite a little dust, the sheets smelled fresh and clean. Our friends on SV Traveler invited us over for a winter solstice party. Scott and Connie shared with us and other friends their tradition for the winter solstice. The tradition is to burn 2 things into the fire. First, some sage, mentioning something that you want to give up or say goodbye to. The second is a piece of hardwood, which you commit into the fire while stating a goal or ambition you want to achieve. It was a fun time with good people and great music. It also signified our going away party from the yard, as we were launching in 3 days.
The more I'm with you, pretty baby, the more I feel my love increase. I'm building all my dreams around you.
All right, let's get this thing in the water.
It was the day before Christmas, and Prism had one chance on a falling tide to get into the water. We were the only boat scheduled to splash, and if we missed our opportunity, it would be over a week before the guys would be back from holiday, so we had no room for delays. In this yard, there are 2 separate lots you can keep your boat in. We were in the furthest lot, so the boat has quite the journey back to the hauling ways in order to get back into the water. Despite a few bumps, the rusty old travel lift got us to the water. And after many thank yous and a few Christmas tips to the yard guys, we were back in the water. So Prism floats, and we are motoring over to our anchorage in front of the Fond Tour Marina. It is Christmas Eve, and we are very happy to be floating and not on the hard for Christmas.
What's up, guys? I'm like, there's a supper out there. I was like, there was a supper out there. I bet it's Jess.
I was like, I wonder when they're gonna see me, because I can see where you guys are going. Oh, I know. Hey, buddy. I know.
Well, Yuli's gotten good
Got a lot
too.
of practice. He does too.
We are at a Christmas Eve potluck. We're having drinks and appetizers and just hanging out, meeting a bunch of people who we've met and people who we haven't met, so we're having fun. With a delicious array of different foods, we had our second Christmas in a row away from family, this time with the Cruisers of Guaymas. The next night, we celebrated Christmas with our friends Jess and Josh on their boat Oleada. Just because it's Christmas, it doesn't really make me miss family, but just I miss the idea of the whole family getting together and not being there. That's what's sad. Not just because it's Christmas, but just everyone coming together. It's just, they're having a good time. So are we. Heck, our friends just got engaged. We're grilling away, and John just had his first bite. What'd you think?
It was good.
It was good. Now imagine wrapped in a buttery tortilla.
Mmm. Oh yeah.
Double 12 set.
What do you got there, Josh?
Oh, just a little smoke bird.
Smoke bird.
Smoke bird. Alright, got a headlamp on, shining in the face.
That's good.
About to pull this baby out.
Is it falling apart yet?
Yeah, it's like exploding.
Oh, look at the juice.
Jess and Josh left Berkeley around the same time we did, and up to this point, we had only ran into them once in the La Paz area. Earlier that day, Josh proposed to Jess, so extra celebration was in order.
This is a paleta de chamoy, and I've never had one, but it's a traditional Mexican sweet. They eat them a lot for Navidad, for Christmas.
She did it.
It's kind of sweet and spicy all at the same time.
Really?
Mmm.
It's got chilies in it. It makes it like
it
it's
so
tart.
looks like
It
it.
looked like
Tarty.
somebody
Yeah.
had like beets for
Sour.
dinner the night before.
It's really,
Shit on a
it's
stick.
so good.
It's really tarty. Yeah, that's the word I was waiting for. Tarty.
It's got all these like
Was it late for class?
stringers,
Hey.
these little strings in it, but I can't
And
swallow.
seeds.
Yeah, I think those are seeds.
Spicy or just sour? Or?
Sour.
That's
You
good.
want to try it?
Sour.
A bit of everything.
I'll take it.
After the delicious dinner, we went outside into the spacious Cal 39 cockpit to enjoy one of our last nights in Guaymas. Here in the cockpit, we decided to buddy boat and sail the forgotten coast of the Sea of Cortez. The eastern shore of the sea is infrequently visited by yachts due to the small quantity of bays and coves, and the fact that most of them are bar entrances. Our ambitious plan had no guarantees other than being an adventure. And that's the core reason we're out here to begin with. Next time on SV Prism. Prism gets underway with Oleada right behind us, saying goodbye to Guaymas Harbor and starting the rough overnight passage to Bahia Santa Barbara.
Yes, it looks like we're going on Cape Horn right now.
This super isolated bay has one of the largest beaches we have ever visited. Anchorage is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this beach. Yulee, I think, is the most excited. With an abundance of wildlife all around us, we stay here to have an intimate 4-person and 1 dog New Year's Eve party before heading to our next stop, Topolobampo. If you like this show, please subscribe if you haven't already. Also, follow us on Facebook and Instagram to see the newest updates on where we are right now. This show is funded by viewers like you. So if you like this show, consider becoming a patron so we can continue making the show in the future. For more details about Prism, camera gear, and the crew, go to svprism.com. Thanks again for watching, and like always, fair winds and following seas.